Hey guys, it's me, YouTuber Toaster, back again with a crazy video. My last video was posted about 2 months ago, if you look at that. I have reasons for that, so rapid fire excuse time. So first of all, I started on a video, it took me about 2 weeks to get halfway done with it, and I absolutely hated it, so I got really burnt out, and so I took like a 2-week break, and I came back to the video, and I realized my computer had died. Like, it does not turn on or work anymore, and so that video is gone. Sorry guys. It was shit anyways, it was not good, so it's alright, you didn't miss out on anything. And any other excuses? I think that's about the gist of it. Yeah, so we're gonna get right into this video so first of all, this is like the older sketchbook. I'm showing you my older sketchbook right now on screen, I think. That's what they used to look like, and so I wanted to do about the same format and such. And also, I want to say that it's like, for some reason, I have no idea why, but it's really hard for me to talk about Zach and Carmen's story because it is so, like, there's so many holes in the story. Like, I came up with the basic idea for their story about like 2 years ago maybe, and at this point, maybe like a year ago actually. At this point, it's like much more developed, but there's still so many holes. Like, I don't even know how their story really ends or begins, really. I just kind of know basic scenes and themes that I want, and that's about it. I have other stories that maybe I could go into more depth, more ideas that I want to talk about, which I think would be fun to do, just like have a little info dump series maybe where I just talk about random ideas I have. Because I have quite a few actually, and I actually just came up with a few over the past few weeks. Anyways, another reason that I find it hard for me to talk about Zach and Carmen's story is because it's like constantly changing. Like, especially over the summer, so many things changed. Like, first of all, Zach wasn't even like trans a year ago or a few months ago. I decided to make him trans because I thought it fit his story really well, and because I love transgender people. And even like simple things like the way that they look, like Carmen doesn't even look like this anymore, and I drew this a week ago, which I think is really funny. I could put up maybe I'll do a little side drawing the outfit he has now, because it just looks more interesting and it makes more sense for him because the climate they live in is a bit on the chillier side, so a hoodie probably isn't enough to be not chilly. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bit of info dumping. Oh yeah, I also want to say, my last video, I was trying so hard to script it, and I'm so bad at scripting because I just stutter. Like, I stutter normally, and I take pauses and I breathe weird, but I don't know, I think something about scripting just makes it infinitely worse. Also, their personalities, like, I can imagine them in my head, but trying to articulate it is not very good. Carmen has a pretty interesting backstory. I don't know how much I want to tell about it, which is another thing, is I'm so iffy about like spoiling certain aspects of it, because I feel like it'd be more fun if I made a comic of sorts and you have to figure stuff out as it goes. I think that's more fun than just telling you everything. Okay, this is the most boring part in my opinion, but I'm gonna explain the main plot device thingy that exists in their story, which is this thing called the curse. The curse, it's a really boring name, I know, but I feel like it makes sense in the world that they live in to call it the curse. I might change it though, because it was mostly just a placeholder name. But the curse is basically this thing. I know how it works, but I don't know if I should explain it to you guys yet. Let me think. Okay, so the curse is basically this thing that attaches itself to a person and basically warps them over time. It is something that has existed for a few decades before Zach and Carmen were born, and at this point in time, it's just like a fact of life. Everyone knows what the curse is, and everyone has their own stigma around the curse. Oh yeah, okay, so there is a stigma around the curse. People believe that it is contagious. How do I explain this? So people think it's like a contagious virus that is caused by immorality, because Zach and Carmen live in a world that is run by a religious state. I don't actually know how to describe it. Maybe I'll put up the correct definition, but it's basically most of the population believe in the one type of religion, and this is caused by a few things, but it's mostly caused by the development of the curse. Because when the curse first started, it quote unquote spread. It didn't actually spread, but a lot of people were affected by it very quickly, and people thought it was like a curse from God. That's why it's called the curse. And they thought it was because of, I don't know, they basically just thought that it was because of the lack of religious faith that existed in the world at the time. And so that whole thing caused a huge religious resurgence, and most of the population believes in this specific religion. And both Zach and Carmen were raised on this religion. Boring part out of the way. It's not that boring. It's just boring to explain sometimes because it's hard to explain. And so that's basically how Carmen and Zach meet. So Carmen, he develops the curse when he is very, very young, and he is sent away by his parents to live in a place that many cursed children go to as sort of a safe haven, which is where the main story takes place. But Carmen got sent there when he was very young, around the age of 13, and later on, when Zach is about 25, he develops the curse as well, and he decides to go there on his own with his dad's help. That's just like the main exposition to the story. That's like the one constant thing that has stayed consistent in their story, is that Carmen lives in this place and then Zach goes there later on in life. Okay, hey guys, it's me and I'm back. It's been like probably a few days by now. What else? I want to say a few other things. So first of all, the color palette in this drawing I think is mostly accurate for Zach, but for Carmen it's not. For some reason I made him like a weird strawberry blonde type thing. Really, he just has straight up pink hair. Their color palette and their clothes are always under the works, and I am sorry that it took so long for a very lame video, but I will hopefully try to do better. No promises. So thanks to you guys, honestly, I have been like thinking more about like how their story would go and who they are as characters. Okay, so Carmen, I know I always draw him super like cutesy and like he's just a silly happy guy, he smiles a lot and he has pink hair and he's silly and he's gay and you know all that stuff, right? He's kind of a jerk. Like, he doesn't mean to be. He just is very blunt with what he wants and what he says. He doesn't know how to word things properly and communicate properly, and so most of the time he comes off as kind of like rude. Okay, so at the time that Zach initially finds him like in the middle of the woods, he hasn't had human interaction in several years. At the beginning of the story, he's kind of just, this is what you need to do in order to live here, and if you don't do it, you can go somewhere else, you know, which is, you know, fair enough. He's been living there and doing stuff on his own for so long. And Zach isn't really he's kind of like, Zach is kind of a anxious crybaby when it comes to stuff like that. Like, he wants to try his best to be kind and he tries his best to be kind, and like their characters are obviously much more deeper than that, but that's like what I'm gonna tell you right now. That's kind of like how they are at the beginning. And Zach, he has a lot of like inner feelings that aren't anxious little crybaby type feelings, but people on the outside don't usually view him that way. He's mostly like, oh, what can I do to make you feel better? Ignore my feelings and emotions. I will cater to you to the ends of the earth. That's him. That's Zach. Kind of. Again, I'm not good at explaining their characters very well. Probably should get better at that. Yeah, okay, I keep saying this, but I cannot explain their whole story. It's too much. Like, there's too many things I want to explore in their story, so I should probably maybe just like create stuff out of them. I don't know. I think I should definitely do some animatics, some silly things, and maybe a few comics, because you can't just, I'm sure most people can agree they can't just sit and explain their character stories. It's too hard. Okay, I think this is gonna wrap up the video. Yippee. Okay, I just want to say thank you guys so much for like all your support. That's like, it's honestly been really insane seeing my channel grow this quickly. Like, I did not expect that to happen. Like, we just hit, I don't even know, we gained too much, too quick. It's crazy. This is insane. But again, I will remind you, I have a job. I'm working quite a bit at that job, and I'm in school. So unfortunately, videos may not be my highest priority, even though I do want them to be. I do want to make videos because it is fun and it is cool seeing this like support for me. That's like really cool. Anyways, I will try my best. That's all I really can do. But anyways, thank you so much. I love you guys. Goodbye.